radiofreebrooklyn.org.
I came in too early a second ago on the oh, everything's breaking. Can you guys hear anything?
Yep.
You guys hear yourselves?
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. Yeah, I hear everything.
I interrupted the commercial, Radio Free Brooklyn commercial, hoping to get docked for that. Hey, this is No Suggestion, everybody. This is an improv comedy talk show. I'm your host, Ralph Jean Pierre. We got special guest co-host Jake Joseph back in the building.
Hello, everyone.
If you don't see, he's doing one of these pump-up bounce. There was a name for this move in the 90s. I don't remember. It was like,
I have no idea. This is just me being fun.
Yeah,
that's how I wake up every morning.
It's beautiful. Yeah, that's nice. Do that, and I just have some eggs. All right, and today's special guest, we got Julian Hernandez. Am I saying that right?
That's totally correct, yeah.
Can I say AKA Jooby, or is that not a...
You can say AKA Jooby. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Julian is... what is this? Hiss? You guys hear this hiss?
Yeah, I hear that hiss.
Yeah.
I got a hiss in here. All right, hopefully this hiss is not in the... I don't know how to... Okay. I was about to push this button and it says, nah, son, right here. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to live with this hiss. I don't know what that is. I'm going to put my phone on airplane mode and see if that helps. Maybe. Nope, that did nothing. Okay.
The hiss is nice texture, I think.
It adds a texture. It makes it feel grainy, like we're in a sort of improvising in a Wu-Tang music video.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Julian, Jake, would you ask this question? This is how I want to start. Would you ask that question you just asked?
Sure.
Okay.
Literally like 2 minutes before we went on the air, yes. I asked the question, what is the difference between commedia dell'arte and clown?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, great classic
so
question.
Deep. We're starting so deep in the weeds. Let's go there. When people ask you, and I want to get to all, when people ask you what clown is, what do you tell them? What's your answer? I should do a large survey of this. This is a great question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually say like physical performance from like a place of joy. Like,
damn, that's succinct.
Yeah, like just like that's the broad stroke to me.
Damn. Okay. When people ask me, sometimes they say it's an engine of performance.
I like that.
I don't, somebody else said that to me. I don't, it's hard to describe, man. What do you think clown is based on what we've just said?
I've done clown very limited. I did one workshop at the Clown Gym, and it was awesome.
Shout out to Clown Gym.
Yeah, shout out to Clown Gym. Recommend it. And I think like physical performance from a place of joy makes a lot of sense. I also think like engine for performance also makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think they both work if you've done clown.
Yeah.
But I think if you're watching clown, I'm not sure if that helps you understand the art form, if that makes sense.
Well, I'm also like not precious about what clown is. And I think there's a lot of people who are like, this is clown and that is not clown.
Yeah.
And that's why I like engine for performance, because it's like I breathe clown into everything I do is how I like to think about it.
I'm not sure what you are calling that, but that is not fashion. That isn't fashion. So
what?
Taylor,
what?
It's just not fashion. It's
It could be called maybe like a topiary, like a shrub that has been carved into a shape.
A shrub that is apt. That is quite apt.
Yes, yeah.
That is strong. That's resonating with me. It's my chakras are aligning when I hear that. But when you call it fashion, my spine starts to sink and not want to be inside of my body.
But I've been working on this dress all year. I've been wanting to be like you guys, right? I've been just wanting to be fashion guy like you guys.
Yes, Albert. Yes, yeah, I understand that. But when you call this piece fashion,
yeah,
I start to envy my mother who's in the grave. I start to envy.
Billifer has great mother envy.
I've envied my mother all my life, but now you make me envy her death. When you call that fashion, you make me envy her death. Yes.
So I'm supposed to call it what'd you say? A topiary?
A topiary. Yeah.
Well, this is fashion And when you say that it makes you wish you were dead, it actually makes me wish I was dead.
You asked me to remind you that your shift at UPS will start in a half an hour. You asked me to remind you of that.
Yeah. Just right before you walked in. So
you said to remind you.
Yeah, just remember the clock is 5 minutes fast. We do have 30 minutes left.
When you call your piece, this kind of top piece, the shirt piece that you brought into the classroom, fashion, when you call it fashion, I start to regret not voting for George W. Bush. I start.
Wait, you start to regret not voting for George W. Bush?
Yes, because I didn't vote for him. But
you voted for John Kerry?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wish I had. I wish I had voted for John.
How would you, teacher, respectfully, and I'm going to speak up for myself for the first time in my life, respectfully.
Oh, Albert.
How dare you? How do you think that I would have made a different top if George W. Bush, he won. So even if he did...
Cancun, I'm just going to grab your hand because I need a little support. Yes, yes.
He won. So even if you did vote for him, it wouldn't have changed anything.
I'm just expressing a feeling of inside of what I feel, Albert, because you brought this piece in that contains some sort of plant leaves and bird feathers.
Yeah, because organics are important. Okay? Organics are inside of me, and I want them to be outside of me as well. That's my vision. That's why I work for UPS, is because I love all the time I get to spend outdoors and in a car that got no doors on it. Okay? That's me. And I know who I am. I don't think you know who you are or what any of this, I don't think you know what fashion is. Describe fashion for me.
I'm going to just sip my
Yes.
LaCroix.
Okay. You know what?
Cancun, please, if you have any words.
Yeah, Cancun. Go for it.
I will describe fashion for you. It is the covering of your body.
That's the end?
Yes.
Okay.
But it is the covering of your body in a way that is not camouflage. Camouflage is all about not being seen, but fashion is about being seen.
Oh, so you're saying that fashion? Okay, so you're saying that military can't be fashion? How about them? How about them Nazis?
Cancun, please. I would, if you want to.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Look at you. You look like a topiary. If you were to go
I still don't know what that is.
Yeah, but if you were going to go Gramercy Park and you just stood next to a shrub, no one would know you were there. So how could this be fashion? In the same way that if a Nazi went to a concentration camp, he would just look like every other Nazi there.
He would blend in.
Yeah, the uniforms are, everybody looks the same.
Okay.
If you're in nature, you would be of nature. You would not.
But what if I'm a bush in a bunker? If I'm a bush in a bunker, then I'm standing out.
Have you never heard of a potted plant, a ficus? A ficus is a bush that lives in a bunker.
You couldn't fight with a ficus. You can't fight with ficus. You can't fight with ficus.
I don't know what you guys are talking about anymore. This is supposed to be my assessment for my end of year design.
This is a big part of your grade, all right? Like, think about it. If you were an enemy soldier and they saw you in a bunker, they would not shoot at you because they would think that you're a potted plant.
And that's bad. It's bad to not get shot at.
We don't know anymore.
Who teacher? Tell me right now who teacher.
Who teacher?
Tell me right now who teacher.
I teacher.
Okay.
Cancun is teacher assistant.
Okay.
Exactly.
And where are the rest of your students? And where are the rest of your students? No one
has shown up today.
No one wants to take this bum class. No one likes this class because you is mean.
You have 12 minutes to your shift at UPS.
There's no way 13 minutes have eclipsed. I have an incredible sense of time.
That topiary is ill-fitting. I don't think it's fashion.
That is. What are you trying to say? You're a sundial? You're measuring how the sun is casting a shadow along this room?
I deliver packages for a living, okay? I know my estimated time of arrival. I know what time it is right now.
You know what I see when I see you? I see a post office man that can't hack it. And so they dress up like a tree so that the dogs and the birds and the cats don't notice them as they try and sneak mail into their owners' houses.
Cancun.
Do you know what I see when I see you, Cancun?
Tell me.
I see everything that I never want to be.
Of course.
I see a sad little man who couldn't cut it. In one of those ¿cómo se llama? The designer shows.
Albert.
Yes. I couldn't cut it on Say Yes to the Dress.
Sure, that one.
Yeah.
And so now
We were both voted off.
now you both teach and teacher assistant. Well, guess what? I'm out there in these streets with these people, and what people like is leaves.
Albert, you answer me one question because I think I understand. You tell me right now, in your UPS van, there are approximately 100 boxes that I counted. What are each of those boxes filled with?
They're all filled with one thing. This shirt. This shrubbed shirt that I'm bringing to all of my favorite customers. Because people like me, and I like them. And I don't like being here. FIT can suck it as far as I'm concerned. And you two can go to hell.
Cancun,
Hold my hand again for support.
give Albert a B minus.
I will write it down.
And I'll take that.
Scene. Wow. I don't know where that went, but that was,
Damn, y'all crazy for that.
my God. That's beautiful. I feel like Albert was growing in that scene.
Yeah, always got to have growth.
Wow.
So that's what this show is. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about whatever we're talking about. Could be we have to finish answering your question. And then at any point during the show, anybody can initiate an improv scene, hopefully based on what we're talking about. Anybody can call. The scene will last 30 seconds or 3 minutes or however long it lasts. Anybody can call scene. And then hopefully that happens at least 4 times. We get at least 3 more scenes in
Perfect.
before this hour is over. If we do more, that's fantastic. If we do less, I will feel like a failure.
I want the next scene to last for 45 minutes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. The work.
Yeah.
This is a good way to, okay, I'm going to finish. Okay. Commedia dell'arte versus clown. Commedia, fuck. It's hard to talk about because I only really know Commedia through the lens of the group we were both in for what, a summer? When was that? It was like 5 years ago.
God, that must have been like 2019, like 4 years ago. Yeah.
At the latest, yeah, maybe
I think so.
Yeah, probably 2019. So Commedia is like, it's a bunch of stock characters that are kind of represented by masks, and it's a very stylized form of play. And the stock characters all kind of have this conceit of, which is very functional at the time. They all live in a village. There's some really rich people who are usually conniving and greedy, and some very poor people who are usually maybe also greedy, but also just poor and sad. And then there's all these different stock characters, like a very Mr. Burnsy kind of guy, and a very Kramery kind of guy. You know, a Pantalone and a Brigella. There's all these different stock characters, and they get into all these. It's like a cartoon, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They get into all these.
Well, it's like stock characters that have existed so long
forever,
that just like you see them in like The Simpsons and The Muppets and like everywhere, truly.
Yep. And there's like 7 or 8 of them that if you do Commedia, you know them and you know how to play them and you know how to live in these masks and you do this very stylized version of play that feels like cartoons.
Yeah.
And usually, well, not usually, really the way it's taught in Brooklyn, New York in 2023 is if you do clown training, it's a really easy entryway into Commedia dell'arte.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you like give the mask life.
Gotcha.
Does this make any sense?
Yeah, no, this makes perfect sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. This is super nerdy, like in the weeds theater talk.
Yeah, let's go theater.
Yes. So I have so many thoughts, but so you tell me, what is it? What's your title at the BCC? Do you want to talk about this?
We can talk about
Okay.
work. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the managing director there.
Managing director. What does that mean?
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
I'm the
Should we have bowed when you walked in the room?
Absolutely.
I did, but I'll do it
Yeah,
again.
it's gonna curse you
Brooklyn
right
Comedy Collective, a wonderful theater and school here in well, it's not Williamsburg, but in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Who knows what?
Dude,
things
who knows?
are.
They call it East Williamsburg, and
East
I'm like, that ain't a
Williamsburg.
place.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But here in Brooklyn, a wonderful comedy school and theater. But yeah, you're managing director there.
Yeah, what does that mean? I'm the only full-time employee that works there.
Whoa.
Other than like the owner, it's really just kind of him and I, and like we have a lot of people on staff and a lot of people that I oversee. But yeah, I'm kind of in charge of like day to day at theater and like what classes look like and pretty much what everything looks like over there. That's
incredible. That's beautiful.
Speaking of Commedia dell'arte, So you are like the greedy rich man. Who are the poor people groveling to you?
Okay, I'm definitely the greedy rich man. That's totally what's happening.
You're the Pantalone.
Yeah. You have no idea how much money running an improv theater makes you. Yum yum yum.
Yeah.
God, no, dude, it's crazy. I'm to be honest with you, like, it's been really fun working this job because it's like, I studied at UCB and I studied at IO a little bit in Chicago, and like never really had an incredible community experience. And always felt like a little otherized being like Cuban person in the space, or like first generation immigrant. Like with what I found funny, what worked for me, I just like felt really restrictive in a lot of other spaces. And so like having this job, it's like, okay, cool. How can I try to make this like cool community space for people, and like space for people to like express what they think works comedically, and like work on that in like a real and true way. Which has been like really fun and really rewarding. If that makes sense.
That makes total
vague.
sense.
Yeah.
As you said that, all I was thinking about was, and this is fucked up because they're coming back, but I must say this. This is how I truly feel. What's the name of the actor from The Blacklist? The lead actor from that show, The Blacklist.
Is it Alan something?
No, he's like he was like the villain in like
Age of Ultron. James Spade.
James Spader.
Yeah. James Spader. Yeah.
In the 80s movies,
Yeah.
how he was, he was kind of always the blonde villain, in the Molly Ringwald movies, or at least in one movie or something. That's what the UCB felt like to me. Just a bunch of 1980s James Spaders doing sketch and improv.
Yeah, it just like didn't feel like a place where it felt like I was welcome, and it also felt just like so competitive. And I feel like I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
And I've worked at it for a really long time, and just felt crazy that I spent so much money on classes there and so much time trying to like even just like make friends, build community. And I feel like it's like, I spent maybe a year and a half of my life there, and like maybe 2 years, and I have like 2 friends from that time. I like broke my ankle during one of the classes and couldn't finish it out, and they did not give me my money back in any way. Didn't give me a credit. And it's like, it's shit like that.
Even give you a credit.
Right. And it's shit like that where I was like, man, this is just like, this is not meant for someone like me. Like when I moved to New York, making $5.25 at a restaurant, like an hour, and just like doing this thing, I was like, I can't afford to do this shit. And like, I don't feel welcome to do this shit.
Yeah.
here.
You don't feel like they care at all.
Yeah, so just trying to bring like human, and like, we're all just trying to like do art. I love theater. And I just like, I think it's like really fun to try to like bring that there and have people feel like they have a home where they can like perform and like meet people, and like no one's like really judging anyone for shitty reasons. I'm out here judging shows because I give a shit, right? But like, I'm not like judging you on anything that you shouldn't be judged on. If that makes sense. Are
you comfortable in that sort of? I think we're like similar in age. Maybe we're the same exact age. I don't want to out you on your age here. I don't know how you feel about that, but
just put your fingers up. No one can see them.
Yeah.
Except for this.
Oh yeah, it's filmed. But I feel like one of the things that is kind of weird to slide into, especially given the story you just told, is like you then sort of become like the big brother figure.
Right.
And you start to be responsible or take on the responsibility of ushering younger people in and trying to help facilitate a better experience for them.
Right.
How do you wear that? How does that sit on you? Is that comfortable? Is that something you're excited to do? Is that something that's a little bit, I don't know.
Yeah. What is your big brother mask look like?
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it. I think it's like really fun. It's not even fun. It's just like rewarding, right? Mm-hmm. It's like rewarding to be able to be like, oh, I've been here. Like I've been producing shows so fucking long that it's like, I've been here. I know what it looks like. I know what it's like to be like, oh, I'm having a hard time meeting people. How do I put this show up? Like I'm constantly off work hours, just like taking calls with people that are like students at the theater or people in the theater who are like, I want to do the show and I don't know how to do it. And I'm like, word, let's like talk about it. Like, let me be a resource to just like talk shit, like spitball, and just like give you ideas and like of how to put a good show up.
Hey, Julian, Ralph and I really want to do a show where we fill the audience with snakes.
Okay.
But some of the snakes are fake. Like 9 out of 10 snakes are fake.
Okay.
But there's like one real snake there. And
none of them are going to be poisonous, by the way. So we're
Mhm.
not crazy.
Yeah.
10% of the snakes are real?
10% of the snakes are real.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's called 10% of the snakes are real.
They will bite. The ones that are, we're not demanding that they bite. We're not training them to bite. They won't come. But I'm pretty
they're
sure
bitey
snakes
snakes.
bite.
Yeah.
Snakes do bite.
Snakes do bite.
Snakes do bite.
None of these snakes are venomous.
Right.
And only 10% of them are real.
The fun part, though,
Yeah.
is that the fake snakes are poisonous. So, like, if, venomous is like if it bites you, you die. Poisonous is if you bite it, it dies.
And so why do you think anyone in the audience would bite a fake snake?
Oh, it's part of the show.
Yeah, it's a big part of the show that they'll bite the snake.
So you guys are seeking to hurt people? Am I getting this correct?
We're seeking to put on a great show experience, and we want your guidance on how to do that.
If they bite the snake dies.
Oh.
Yeah, the people are poisonous here.
Oh, the people are poisonous, not the snakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The snakes are not venomous.
Wow.
It's really a metaphor for climate change, okay?
I don't follow. Respectfully.
It's just like, okay,
Hold
so,
on, you don't follow?
yeah, think about it. Snake bites you.
Think for a second about it.
You bite snake. Everything dies like the Ouroboros. Climate change.
Isn't the Ouroboros that it never dies?
Is the snake constantly biting itself and then biting itself and then it's just the Ouroboros of biting.
Okay, wait. Ouroboros is not a snake biting itself over and over again. It's eating its tail endlessly, right? Am I
No,
crazy?
it's like the image in the sky is like an image in the sky that only appears at night, and it's of a snake biting itself. That's the Aurora Borealis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Am I crazy? Listen, boys, I want to help you out.
Look,
Listen,
tomato, potato, it's the same thing. Let's just put on this show.
Let's just we want you to spitball ideas with us to make this to optimize this show, because we know it's a great idea,
Mm-hmm.
but we want to make sure that we have arranged it so that the audience gets the full, not only laughter, but the message.
right of of climate change.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what are you trying to say about climate change? Sorry, I wasn't clear on
It's
that.
like inevitable, but also you're not going to see it coming because 9 out of the 10 times it's a fake snake.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that climate change is inevitable, but 9 out of 10 times it's going to be fake? Is that
Exactly.
that's both of your
According
stances?
according to
Science. Yeah, think about it.
according to
Like,
science.
how many times has it snowed, but the Earth is still getting hotter? 9 out of 10 snows are fake.
But one of them is real.
I really wish I could help you guys. I really want to help you guys so bad, but I just don't think we're aligned.
We're just trying to find community.
Yeah.
We just both finished level 3. I took it twice. We both just finished level 3.
Level 3 what? Level 3 what?
It was just a level 3.
Are you guys? Oh, I know what this is. Oh, okay. I actually know what this is. You guys are fucking with me. Oh, you guys thought it'd be really funny to. Oh, you thought it'd be really funny to waste my time and be all like, I have an idea about Snake Show and just make me look stupid. Are you guys filming this?
Ralph, why does everybody think we're fucking with them when we bring up our
We were really excited to finish level 3.
Yeah, we want to help
Who's your
people understand about climate change, man. Why are you saying our show is not real?
Comedy has to have a purpose. It can't just be just fun and jokes and games. You got to leave a message with the audience.
Really?
That's what I've been learning at level 3.
Who's your instructor for level 3?
Take a bite of the snake.
Curson.
Just take a bite of the snake.
Did you say Curson?
Yes.
He's not supposed to be teaching anymore. Curson does not work. Curson does not work for us anymore.
Oh God! Fuck! The snake bit me.
Put the sandwich down.
The snake bit me. Oh God!
Don't hold the sandwich anymore.
Oh jeez.
It's not poisonous. He's just bleeding.
Well, I thought the only live snakes were. Oh, they're not. No, I'm sorry.
We're wondering
I'm
if
so
we're going to
sorry.
get a discount code.
Yeah. Can we get it?
God, y'all are fucking crazy for that one. Y'all tripped me up way too much at the start of that one. What am I supposed to say?
Well, at what point?
it
At
was
what
really
point did you
beautiful.
realize that this was a bit?
Well, the second you were like, when you were like, we want to pitch you a show, I was like, I know you're not being serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you're not being serious.
It was. I thought it was a nice volley though. That was very nice.
Yeah.
Where did I want to go here?
But it's hard to tell when we're just 3 people
Just 3 people standing around.
messing around,
Doing
or if we're
improv.
jumping into a scene. You know what I'm saying?
What where is your I'm just realizing I don't think I know. This is where I want to go. I don't think I know anything about your life outside of comedy.
Totally.
I think as a fellow person, I don't mean to be this way, but I do know that sometimes I can be mysterious. As a fellow mysterious person, what is that mechanism like for you? Is that, I just like to, I'm private, or you're just like, I don't mean to be mysterious, I just am. For me, I don't mean it at all. No one's ever been to my house. No one's ever been to my house. Really? None of my friends ever come to my house. There's nothing there. I got a bed and some pillows, and there's absolutely no reason. I just am like that. I don't even like being alone. I want people to come over. I never invite anyone over.
Wow. That's actually like that way. That really is like kind of touching to me.
Yeah, it's very sad.
You should invite people over.
I don't know why I don't.
I'd love to hang out sometime.
I think I'm convinced that nobody wants to come. And it's deep. I'm deeply convinced.
People consider me mysterious too, but it's largely because I operate my life like a board game.
Okay, elaborate.
Whoa.
I'm not being serious.
Okay. I was.
Shut up.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying. When are we joking around and when are we jumping into a scene?
You'll never know.
No, to be honest with you, I'm like, I really view myself as like hard on my sleeve kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like fully honest, fully open. I said that to you beforehand, right? It's just like, I don't want to hold on to any secrets because I'm not good at remembering if I should be lying or not. You know,
I see you that way. I see you as very open, but I also see you as, and I know you in a very specific context.
Totally.
But I also see you as someone I'm like, I think this person is great. I know nothing about you.
Totally. Well, I feel like you and I are just always like we're ships in the night, you know. But I also do. I've thought about this about myself a lot. Of just like I like being alone. I've been like living alone for the past year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy it. I really enjoy time spent alone. And then what's crazy about like being someone who's like a performer, improviser who works at a comedy theater is it's like I'm at work there. And so like sometimes people are like, let's talk about like sexuality or let's talk about this. And I'm like, we're at work. I'm at work. And it's like, I want to keep that line clear because it's like, these people are my employees or these people are my students. And it's like, I don't want to be like I don't want people to feel uncomfortable and I don't want to cross boundaries. Just know me as the guy who works with you and I'll be loving and I'll be honest and I'll be straightforward. But like, if you want to get to know me, let's do it outside of the confines of this place.
I really love that as a teacher. And I sort of, I don't feel guilty about it, but I do feel I can see like my students look at me and like want more from me and want to be close to me. And I just know the feeling of looking at them was I cannot give you that. If you enjoy what I do at my job, that means that I cannot ever, maybe in 3 years when you're way out of this school and doing something else. But as of right now, like I'll give you everything I have in this space.
You're right.
But I cannot give you anything else.
The second I'm done teaching, I'm done teaching this class. I'm like, I'm just some guy you know now. If you want to like hit me up, talk about stuff, hit me up. I'm just somebody. But through the course of the class, I'm like, I'm going to be teacher. I'm going to give you everything I can as teacher, but like not beyond that.
Yeah.
Because like, I think it just
sounds like another mask.
Yeah.
Masks.
Yeah.
But
it does become a mask. It does feel, because it's like, yeah, I can only be this right now. Like, I can't tell you how much I love that you're saying that, because sometimes I talk to people that at least they appear to, they probably have full awareness of it, but they don't mention it. Or when I was in college, it took me, we called all our teachers by their first names. Mm-hmm. It took me a year. I couldn't do it because there was an internal part of me that was like, but this is messy. It turns out it wasn't that messy, but the 19-year-old me was like, this is too messy. Yeah. I'm coming to you to learn. I'm relying on you to learn. I know nothing. And like, I feel like if we get too familiar, it could be weird. Didn't end up being weird, but I was worried.
I like truly try. I believe this so much, and I'm talking to friends about this all the time. I'm trying to like axe away at that constantly because it's like, I think that the like sense of like there's hierarchy, or like I look up to this person, I idolize this person, which like I have, not to be like egoist here, but like I've seen happen with students with me, is I'm like, we're in the same boat. Like I've been doing this longer than you, but we're like actually doing the exact same thing. And you putting me on a pedestal does nothing for either of us. Like, doesn't help either of us. So, like, let me teach you. You paid for that class. Let me teach you. And when we're done, let's just, like, be people who know each other in the same scene.
Yeah, that's like a big part of, I think, I'm not a teacher, but from what I'm understanding about pedagogy now is, like, it's moving away from this idea that you are the teacher, like the head of the classroom, the tyrant of the space, and like everybody else is the lowly little serfs, and like and it's moving. I remember when I was back in Baltimore, we were revamping our education curriculum, and we had a consultant, Keisha Zoller, come in and talk to us about anti-racism and diversity, and one of the big things that she really had us look at, it was
Keisha Zoller, a fucking astronomy club.
Yeah, Keisha Zoller.
Shout out, dude.
Yeah, Keisha Zoller is one of my heroes. One of my queens. Taught me so much about how to be a great improviser. I mean, I didn't do any improv with her. I did sketch, and she did like improv education pedagogy about it. And one of the things she was like, yeah, there is this power structure, and you need to be aware of it. And so we moved away from calling it a classroom to just a learning environment. And rather than being like, I'm the teacher and you are my student, it's just, I'm a facilitator. And we're all here together on the same playing field. And I think that really changed a lot of how I viewed, the learning environment.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And I'm so glad you said that. It was just like, I'm a facilitator. I've been doing this longer than you. Sure. So, like, let me guide us through these things. I'm learning so much. Like, I had kind of stopped doing improv a little bit like the 2 years before the pandemic, just because I didn't feel like there were opportunities for me to really do improv so much, right? Like, I had an indie team, and it's like we performed every now and again. But then when I, like, after the pandemic, I found myself teaching, and I was like, holy shit, I'm learning so much. In all of these classes, I'm learning so much, and this is like such a rich experience for everyone. And I'm like so grateful for all that time, because it's just like we're all in this space. We're in a learning environment, and like it's scary to be on any end of that. It like requires you to like give yourself and be open and honest. It doesn't require you to, but if you don't, I don't think you get anything out of it. But it requires you to be like open and trying your best, and you learn so much. It's like, oh God, it's so nice. Sometimes I'm like, I love my life, and other days I'm like, I cannot get out of bed. You know what I'm saying?
I
totally get that. Yeah,
I think I do.
I find that teaching, like in any form, was truly one of like the most humbling experiences I've gone through. Yeah.
I have two thoughts I want to give, and the first one, now it's become three thoughts. I do want to say, whatever you just alluded to is something I feel you allude to a lot in Jooby, your one person show, which totally. I fucking love.
Thanks
so much. Jake, I highly
I'm going to be at one of the shows in the future.
Yeah.
I feel so weird. I'm like, oh, I have to go to your show now.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's so funny. It's so you. It's so full of great jokes. So full of incredible music that you make on the spot, and you're like rapping and singing, and there's characters in these wild bits, and there's video. Oh my gosh! And I know you're touring and traveling around, but I do want to say one of the things that I love about that show is how, without being, what's the word I'm looking for? Not droll, some sort of word around that. Without making the show too heavy, you are very transparent about, sometimes my feelings aren't the happiest. Sometimes they're dark. Sometimes they're whatever they are. I don't want to.
Yeah.
And so when I saw your show, and still now, it was, what was that, about 4 months ago? I was like, where I am now, which is kind of at the tail end, but like in the middle of like one of the worst years of my life.
Damn, sorry to hear that.
So it was just like that before that, never anywhere near that. Never. So when you're like, sometimes I don't want to get out of bed. Before a year ago, I never knew what that felt like. And now within this past year, I don't think I was ever depressed, but I was like sad. And I remember thinking at the time, man, I needed this show. I needed to feel this, and I needed to be able to laugh that much, not at it, but inside of it.
Dude, first of all, so kind. So kind. My friend Frank saw the show, and he said something that I think is like, I was like, yes, that's exactly it. Is he was like, he was like, I was watching and like at some point I just had the thought of like, oh my God, we're all going to die. He was like, I just like looked around the room and I was like, everyone in this room is going to die. Yeah. Oh my God, my mom's going to die. We're all going to die. He's like, and then you made some stupid fucking joke immediately. And I like did a huge laugh and totally forgot that I felt like that.
Wow.
And I was like, yes. Cause also to me, that's like, that feels so much like immigrant, like person of color story is like, dude, dealing.
I think we're all first generation Americans.
Love this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Yeah, we all are. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But you know, feeling like shit is so heavy, but also like, I gotta survive. I gotta survive. Right. Mm-hmm. Like I gotta survive. And like laughing is so much fun, but it's also like, I'm thinking about all of the worst shit constantly. Cause it's like, it's plagued my family. It's plagued like so much of us. Right. But like, there's like the positive shit, right? The silly shit, and holding both of those things at the same time is like so rewarding to me. Cause that's how I feel, right? Is like, had a hard conversation with I'm honest. Had a hard conversation with my brother. He's a huge addict. Last year, he was staying with me for like a year or for a month after he got out of jail. Really, really hard conversation. He like stormed out and I was just like sobbing. And then just like dying laughing, just like losing my mind laughing. And everyone says crying and laughing are next to each other. Mm-hmm. But it's just like recognizing like, wow, I feel terrible and I can't stop that feeling. And like, I feel thankful to feel. I like feel thankful to be feeling this. And it's so silly that I found myself here feeling like this, and this will pass. This will pass and I'll do this again. And like, I'm like,
no
awesome.
Feeling is final. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's incredible. And I love that. And I find myself feeling that whenever I'm at my lowest, it feels funny to me. And whenever I feel like really high and really funny, I'm thinking about all of the lowest things. And it's just like, I try to be as balanced as I possibly can. And I just think I don't know. I love it. And I love it.
Yeah. I agree. That really resonated with me because kind of going back to like the first generation American experience, like coming to improv, like as a first generation American, you have all this expectation put up on you. Like you have to be this very specific person that strides the line of an American, but also exactly what your family want, and to like live up to the risks that they took to brought you here, and like all this other stuff.
Right.
And I don't know, I came into improv feeling like, oh, I failed to be that person. And that was like such a huge weight on me. But then improv and comedy was like, oh no, all of what you're here to do is to like revel in your failure. And to like embody that, and to not run away from it, but to see it fully.
That's a lot of what clown is.
Yeah.
Revel in your failure.
I think improv is like that. And there's so much intersection of that. Yes. Just, all comedy is like that, I think. And so the idea of like, oh yeah, like I could come to this space, even though I'm the failure of what I should be, and I didn't do the things that my parents wanted and all these things, but like, actually that's great. Like I can actually be that failure, and that's fine. And
right. Like expressing that failure and feeling that failure is like totally fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, it's actually like rewarding. Honesty resonates with people. And I'm just like, improv got me so used to failing, right? Got me so used to tanking. I tanked on stage so much in college, and it's just like, oh, okay, I know what that feels like. And like, if I can fail and not be like, shit, I failed, but I can fail and be like, totally, damn, didn't that suck?
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, that's funny, right? Like that's like, oh, sure. Cause we all just want to see like someone expressing themselves in like an honest way. What's true to them.
It's making me think of a bunch of things. One being, I just watched part of a podcast yesterday or today with this comedian who has, I'm just going to shout him out here, Ali Sadiq. He's a stand-up from Houston. He has 2 specials that just came out, a part 1 and part 2 of the same special called Domino Effect. Maybe the best specials I've seen in the last 5 years.
Hell yeah.
Fucking so is just a black dude from Houston who tells stories about life of crime and jail, but like really fucking funny guy.
Mm-hmm. And, he's very funny.
But he said that he's like, and this guy's like very independent, like I think runs his own comedy theater in Houston, or at least is part of one, like, and just like tours and just like is kind of a self-made dude, and he's like, yeah, my mom is a full college professor. My mom has a master's degree. My dad ran his own business. My sister is like a lieutenant in the Navy, like blah, blah. He's like, I'm the failure of the family. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So it's like, even with everything he's accomplished, somehow there's something beautiful about being in the arts. That's like, you're almost always a failure. No matter how good you do, you're just the failure. There's just that residue on it. And there's something beautiful about having that stink on you. You know what I mean? Jetted.
Yeah, mama.
You got to wash outside.
But mama, I'm just gonna go right back outside and play.
You're making the whole hutch stink. Our hutch stinks. Our hutch stinks. You got to be outside and wash yourself outside.
Jetted, come outside. We're making a mess again. Come outside.
Mama, can I go outside and make a mess with Kimberly?
You and Kimberly go on and make your mess. Just before you come back inside, wash yourself get under the water. Get all the way under the water, Jetted.
No, mama, it's scary. I could drown.
Jetted.
Mama, stop.
I showed you how to close up your nose with your fingers, and I showed you how to stick your head in and out of the water for air. Okay? When you feel like you're not getting air, it's because your head is in water. Take your head out of the water, Jaded, and get air. And then go back in the water, all the way in.
No, I'm not going to go all the way in, mama, and I'm not going to use the outside water. It's so cold out there.
You think Kimberly can't smell you?
I like it.
Okay.
Kimberly's mama.
Jaded.
Mama, Kimberly, I'm going to say it.
We've been rolling in the filth together.
That better not be a damn euphemism.
It's not. No, we've been literally rolling
in the
okay.
That's why we smell like this.
But she is my girlfriend. Yeah. And we touched hands.
Jaded, you told me when you were 6 that mama was always going to be your girlfriend.
Well, mama, I'm not 6 no more. I'm 9.
We had some chicken last night, and we split the wishbone. He got the big piece.
I got the wish. And mama, you know what I wished for? That Kimberly will be my lawfully wedded wife one day.
Jetted, you're 9 and you have not bathed in 3 days. This boy hasn't bathed in 3. Let me get out the window here. This boy hasn't bathed in 3 days.
I know, because I've been making him filthy.
Yeah, and guess what? Kimberly ain't bathed in 4.
You darn kids.
You think I stink? Get a whiff of this broth.
You're telling lies on Kimberly. Come here. Oh God.
Yes. Heaven, snow falls from the heavens pure.
Lord.
And it is soiled by the earth.
Release your cherubims, Lord.
I am the earth.
Mama, she's speaking in tongues.
Soil your son.
Lord, let your apostles of holiness clean and bathe this filthy heathen child.
Mama, we have decided to wait until marriage to bathe.
Yes. We will make a covenant with you and him and me and God.
I've torn my moo-moo asunder.
Oh, mama, that's your best moo-moo.
Look at it. It's stained.
It is now a sackcloth of grief.
Climb out that window and roll in the filth with us.
If I climb out of this window, I'm ascending into heaven with God.
No, mama, you gotta come out the window. Papa's never coming back and you gotta leave the hutch.
Yeah. Mama, it smells inside that house. I'm calling you Mama, even though...
Wow, you already calling her Mama? We took a big step just now.
Well, this is going to happen one day. So, look, I'm going to be your daughter-in-law one day. You're going to be my mother-in-law. But, one thing is every time he's opened the door for me, it stinks inside there because you've never left.
Yeah, Mama, you take an inside shower, but the inside water smell like eggs.
I haven't replaced the inside water because I keep thinking if I change anything from the way your pa left it, that he's never going to come back alive.
Papa's been gone for 3 years.
Yeah.
All right. I'm undoing my hair.
Oh, my, it's so long. I haven't seen it down from that updo.
I'm coming outside, and I'm going to give you my blessing to be married.
What? Oh, I think there's a towel tangled up in your hair. You tied your hair up one day and just forgot about it, and your hair just grew around it.
It's mad. It's all matted and dreaded.
Okay. All right.
I didn't take very good care of this.
Yeah, it's fine. But you know what? I would thank you for blessing.
Do you think it's worth it to love him, even if one day he might go away?
I will go away.
All of us will go away.
That's God's plan, Mama.
Snow falls from the heavens.
It's gone again. Oh,
Okay,
beautiful.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
This is beautiful. Man, I just want to say I love, thank you for sharing that honesty. Is very, I think that's exactly the same feeling I felt in watching your show. And that's a beautiful, I don't know if it's a gift or a realization that you have to just, I'm going to share and be honest. It really is like what's the word? Generous.
Thanks so much.
Generous is the best way I can put it. It's so, truly is. It really offers a lot. It makes me think about in what we were talking about before. Oh, okay, good. I remember to talk.
Boom, boom, boom.
Trying to how do we? That's part of what this show is about. Is to I'm trying to like help the marketing, help tell the story of what improv is in my own little tiny way with this little tiny podcast. Help tell the story of what is improv to educate an audience that might be like, what are you talking about? To consider like, hey, this might be a fun thing for you to do on a Thursday night or a fun thing for you to watch on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts, if any, about how do we do that? How do we educate an audience that does not want to know about improv to know, hey, this is just an option for you and all the entertainment that's available?
Oh, man, it's so hard. Yeah, we were talking about this before where it's just like, I think improv's so tough to sell people on because they got to see it and it's got to be good.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's not, or a lot of it's okay, right? A lot of it's like, okay, that was all right.
Yeah.
And
which is also beautiful, but yeah.
Right. I think that's wonderful to watch, but for the average person, it's just like, okay, sure. I don't know, dude. It's such a challenge. I think something I think about a lot is also just like, I love theater and everything. You kind of alluded to this, Jake, of like everything is theater, of like stand up is theater and improv is theater. And like stand up wants to act like it's not theater, and theater wants to act like it's not stand up.
Only other person I've ever heard say that stand up is theater.
It is theater. And it's like, it's all theater. And I think people, because you were saying like, why do people buy into stand up, but don't buy, like people get the language of stand up, but don't get the language of improv. And I think it's just because we've like seen it so much, and because they're being like, this is not theater, this is for anyone. And like improv on its face is like, this is theater. Like, it's like you're watching people do a live performance and doing scenes, right?
Wow.
It's just theater.
The amount of people that I have to tell, like, that stand-up is not making things up on the spot.
No.
They've practiced this a million times in every conceivable way to, like, get it perfect. Like, the fact that they're tricking you into thinking that this is improv, like, they're thinking of this on the spot is the performance itself. Like,
and they're, like, wearing a costume.
Yeah.
And they have blocking. Like, it's like, it's theater, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
it's just so clearly is.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
they practice when to pause and stuff like that, because like they know a laugh is going to come and
not
stuff.
only is it theater, because I also feel this way, and I would go so far as to say, not only is stand-up theater, but in America, it's the most viable theater that there is.
It's like it is the current American theater.
Yes. Yes.
And everyone's like so hype on it. And I'm usually so bored by it. Just because I love I love stand up, because what the fuck is it? Right? It's like, what do you mean by that? One person by themselves in a microphone? Clown, it could be stand up, right? Is it's like, what are we talking about anymore? So like that is a layer of it. And then I also just think it's like good improv needs to be accessible to people, and people need to be putting on good fucking shows. I just like see too many people gravitating towards improv. And I'm not even talking about BCC. I'm just talking about what I've experienced doing improv for the past 11 years is like so many people gravitating towards improv because they're like, oh, I don't have to prepare anything. I can just like show up and do whatever the hell I want. And it's like, sure, I'm not preparing anything. But before like Taylor and I do our show, Havana Club Bacardi, we just like, we have never rehearsed. and we just like shoot the shit for an hour. We just like talk about where we're at and we like hang out. Just like talk about like feelings where we're at. And then we like get in there. We do like a really intentional show, create like good show environment for people, and then do like thoughtful scenes. Do like thoughtful, funny, emotional, engaging scenes. And it's like, I call it the best improv show in New York City. And I will stand by that. Yeah. I love that fucking show.
To even have that as a goal, like, because what you're saying, like a lot of improvisers don't want to even go so far as to call themselves comedians or actors,
right?
I honestly struggle with that.
Yeah,
taking on that identity.
Yeah,
I just think of myself as a guy that likes improv. Yeah, both, honestly. Yeah, yeah.
That's so funny because to me, I think. Like I did a Shakespeare project last year. I might have asked you to be in it. I did a Shakespeare project last year, in the last 2 years. And like my collaborator who I love, she's like, okay, but maybe we should find some actors. And I'm like, fuck that. Like if I can't do this with just a bunch of stand-ups and improvisers, I don't want to do it. And this is like Shakespeare. But I'm just like,
I can't believe I said no to that. If you did ask me to do that.
I don't know if I did, but I'm just thinking you're probably somebody that came to mind.
Yeah.
If you ever do it again, please invite me.
Yes. I'd say it's. I'm gonna talk more about it. I should talk about it. It's a Shakespeare play that imagines Henry V as Nipsey Hussle.
Word.
Yes.
Nice.
Into that.
And but like, yeah, my collaborator was like, we need to get real actors, and I'm like, I don't know how to say this, but I'm like, honestly, I don't know if I can think of an actor in New York that's as interesting as a seasoned improviser.
Yeah. Well, it's like, that's also to me what's really special about improv and why it cannot be captured on video or anything like this, is because it's like, I fundamentally feel like you have to be in the room for it. Is like, as an actor, you can only play the roles that you look like, right? Like you can only play the roles that like you as your physical body can be, right? But like on stage, I can play whatever, right? I can play like my abuela, I can play like whoever, and everyone believes that I'm doing that because of like physicality, affectation, all of these things.
Grandma, put that basketball down. Don't dunk.
Hey.
Don't try to dunk, Grandma.
I can dunk. I can dunk this basketball.
Grandma, you are 79 years old. You're coughing. Put the cigarette out at least.
I can dunk basketball with cigarette. I've done it so many times.
I'm sorry. We'll be off this court before halftime is over. I promise you.
Oh, hey guys, I'm the halftime show.
No.
Actually, honestly, I'm here for this. We need some entertainment. They canceled.
Who canceled the other basketball team? It's a professional basketball game.
It's halftime. It's halftime. They had the halftime guest canceled. They asked me to do it.
Yeah.
Grandma, you have a crazy look in your eyes while you're spinning that basket. I don't know how you're spinning that basketball on your finger, but you have a crazy look in your eyes.
Keep going.
Okay.
Can I call you abuela? Can I call you abuela?
Why would you call me that? Tell me right now why you would call me that. Are you my grandson?
I'm not your grandson, but I don't know. Your energy reminds me of my abuela, and she would have leapt at this opportunity too.
What's your name, little guy?
My name is...
No, you're being sucked in, ref.
Yeah, I'm Cornelius.
Cornelius what? Cornelius, ¿qué tipo de nombre es?
My name is Cornelius Church Devil. I understand it's a ridiculous name, but it's like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Do you think that your name is like Benedict? ¿Cómo se llama?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, you guessed it.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
Okay, I like him. He plays Smaug.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I say? He plays Smaug.
Yeah.
He good at Smaug.
My abuela loves Lord of the Rings.
I can tell.
I like the Hobbits.
Yeah.
I like the Hobbits. I like to see what the Hobbits do. But anyway, excuse me while I dunk this basketball.
No, I thought we got you off of that, Grandma. Please. Oh my God.
I put a little trampoline there if you want to do some tricks.
Grandma, honestly, your handles are incredible, but please.
Do you know that I dated Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
What? Even if that's true, how would you? Wow, that was a swoosh.
Wow,
yeah.
Wow, I still can make the half-court shot.
Oh my God. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stand right underneath the hoop. I want you to jump me and get it in.
I was trying to get away from this, ref. Please.
Oh, do you want me to jump you and get it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Halftime must be almost over.
Look, I've forgotten about the game. I'm really just here for our abuela. Can I call you that? Can I say that?
Why would you come like, oh, you Cornelius Church Devil.
I'm Cornelius.
I just met this guy.
Cornelius, it feels to me like you've lost your abuela.
Yeah, I did.
Is that true?
I did. She was
Where'd she go?
She was a horse jumper. You know, like
she jump over horses.
No, actually, what it was is that they would put a horse at the top of a diving board, and the horse would jump off the diving board into a pool of water.
And where does she fit into that picture?
She didn't fit into that picture. That's why she's gone.
Sorry. See what happens, abuela, when you get out of your lane?
Do you think that this is my fault that this guy, abuela, died?
I'm not saying it's your fault.
You acted like this is my fault?
It's just-
Do you know you are not good? Do you know that you've never been good to me?
I love you, abuela.
I don't love you.
You have back problems.
I never wanted to have your mom.
I know you were young, but I'm here and I love you.
Look, I
These
can't
are
have
hurtful
this
words.
game tear an abuela and her ablito. Is that what it, right?
I'm sorry. What you?
I don't know. I just can't have this happen. I can't let this tear you apart.
Hey, come here. Sorry, excuse me,
Sure,
Cornelius.
yeah.
I think that Cornelius is lying about being Latino. I think that maybe Cornelius Church Devil is not Latino at all.
I feel like maybe he just really relates to. I feel embraced by him, honestly. Doesn't that feel good to be embraced?
Do you like he's like some kind of boyfriend to you? You two are like kissing underneath the bleachers.
Very charming person, but no, I just like that he appreciates our culture. He's trying to use the words and.
Okay, but if he's lying, he going to go to hell.
I want you to know that I've noticed you smoked 3 cigarettes in the span of time.
Yes.
Stop doing that.
Porque I'm going to die.
Oh, beautiful.
Really fun.
So nice.
Yeah.
Gino, I can't believe you said Cornelius Church Devil. What are you talking about?
That's a beautiful name.
It's like Benedict Cumberbatch.
I just want to know, how close was that character to any of your actual grandmother?
None of them, except for constantly saying that I never wanted to have your father.
Oh, that's really
that is a
detail.
rough thing to hear.
Yeah, dude, it's okay. It's all good.
It's spicy. It's nice to get that out. Damn. Okay. These are the things I want to get before the show ends. What should people know about you? I want you to plug your monthly show and anything else you want to plug. Jooby as well. Do you have any Joobies coming out in town?
I'm bringing, I'll plug myself real quick.
Please.
I do a monthly show called Havana Club Bacardi Improv Show at the BCC. I love it. Really fun.
You want to shout out who your duo partner is?
Yeah, Taylor Gonzalez. He's we do incredible two-prov, best improv in New York City.
Yes.
Best show. Check that shit out. And then I perform as Jooby. I'm bringing the variety show Jooby and Friends back, resting the solo show and just trying to generate more shit, doing absurd clown stuff and making a wacky variety show where I'll be making up some synth songs for people.
It's the best.
Love it.
It's gonna be
fun.
fun.
Love it.
And people can find all that stuff by following you at...
Dude, yeah, follow me on Twitter at The Thong Song, or follow me, it's true, or follow me on Instagram at Jubliander, which is the most complicated thing you could say.
Nice. Excellent. Do you have a late show to plug?
Yeah, I have an improvised late night talk show called Late Night with the Foolish Boy. You can check it out July 13th at 6:15 p.m. at the Pit Loft in Manhattan. And you can follow me at Foolish Boy on Instagram. It's all the O's are zeros and there's an underscore. So it's F00LISH_B0Y.
Wow,
You gotta
So-
get the thong song. You gotta get the thong song.
I know. I think it's a little bit more confusing than yours. Not to make it a competition.
All
It's
right.
okay.
The theme for tonight's show is just be a church devil.
Hey, be a church devil.
Be a church devil.
Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. This is Ralph Jean Pierre. This is No Suggestion. We love you all. Good night.